Brawly would then ask Ash and Flannery if he could go on an adventure with them, on their adventure with them. And Ash would turn and say, why exactly do you want to go on an adventure with us? And Brawly would make his case that he was very intrigued by Ash. He was very intrigued and impressed by Ash's strength and potential, and would like to increase it. And he piqued his interest when he used a fighting type Pokemon. So he's here because he's interested in what Ash can do, and he wants to learn from him to ultimately become the best fighting gym leader he could possibly be. And then Brawly would say he can leave his assistant, his most powerful assistant in charge of the gym. She has Machop, Meditite, and a Machoke. 3 Pokemon which would really give trainers a challenge. So she's going to be the next gym leader for when he's away. I should say, alright, I wouldn't mind having you travelling along with us. Tyler would say, yeah, you seem like a nice guy. So all 3 of them would go and they would travel to out of the Dooford city, out of the Dooford gym. I should go and heal his Pokemon, and then same with Brawly, and then they'd all go and travel to Slateport city. I should say, wow, this is a big place, and look at that big huge tent. I wonder what that is. And Flannery would say, oh, that's a battle tent. I should say, oh, I'd like to go challenge that after I finish doing some training. Then Ash, interested by the docks and stuff, would go. He would be looking for the Devon parts from Captain's Turn. And then his employer would say that's Turn is in the museum if they want to talk to him. Then Ash, Flannery, and Brawly would go and meet Captain's Turn, and they were talking to him about the Devon part and stuff. Until Team Aqua came, trying to get the Devon parts to do what they want. And Ash would say, I won't let you. Ash would go and challenge one, meanwhile Flannery challenged the other. Ash would send out his Aron to the Grunt's Carvana. Aron, even though having the type disadvantage, would easily outclass Carvana, causing him to send out his Zubat, which Aron would handily dispatch of with a Rock Slide. It would then be Flannery's Combustion versus the second Grunt's Carvana. Flannery would command for a double kick, causing a lot of damage, knocking out the Carvana. They would have defeated all the trainers until then Maxie showed up and said that they shouldn't get in the way of Team Aqua, or else I should say, if you guys are doing anything fishy, I don't care who you are, I'll get in your way. Flannery would say, yeah, from what we've been seeing, you've been terrorizing innocent people to get what you want. Brawly would say, from what I've seen today, you guys are all evil nut jobs. Are all crazy people after something. I wouldn't want to help you or stay out of your way. I'd like to get in your way from what I've seen. Archie would then leave. I can't believe I was calling him Maxie. I'm not talking about Team Magma. Archie would then leave the place and would leave, and then after talking to Captain Stan, Ash, Flannery and Brawly would leave and they would go challenge the battle tent. But inside the battle tent, the rules were a bit different. They were making a special exception today. And the rules were that this time in the in the Slateport tent, a trainer selects 3 of his or her Pokemon and they battle, but they heal their Pokemon between rounds. And whoever wins 3 wins, yes, after healing Pokemon would win. So then it would be Ash versus the random youngster who I'll be calling Jonathan. It would be Ash versus youngster Jonathan. I should say, wow, I haven't seen you in a long time. What are you doing in Slateport? And youngster Jonathan would say, he collected the first and second gym badge. His first and second gym badges, and he wants to go to the Pokemon League and defeat all the Pokemon with his team, mainly his Linoon. I should say, wow. So your Zigzagoon evolved. I've got a surprise for you as well. Alright, go Linoon. Youngster Jonathan would comment, so yours evolved as well. This will be a rather interesting battle. And then I should say, alright, you Slash. And the youngster Jonathan would say, alright, you Slash as well. Both Pokemon's attacks would collide. I should say, now use a takedown, hitting Jonathan's Zigzagoon, doing decent damage and putting like a recoil damage. And then I should say, alright, finish it off with a Slash. And next to Joey would say, alright, use a takedown. Both attacks would collide. And in the end, Ash's Linoon would defeat Jonathan's Linoon. Jonathan would say, your Linoon's got pretty strong. So now I'm going to send in my next Pokemon. Go Wingo! It would be Linoon versus Wingo. Ash would get the first go and will command a Slash, doing a lot of damage to the weak Wingo. But Wingo wouldn't back out yet. And youngster Jonathan would ask for a water gun. Not doing much damage, but still doing damage, I should say. Now finish it off with a Slash. But then, before the Slash could hit, the Wingo would use the surprise move which youngster Joey taught it, Hydro Pump, to knock both of them out. I should say, wow, very interesting. And now, going Makuhita. And then, youngster Jonathan would say, alright, go out Mightyena. Ash would obviously have the type advantage here. Ash would request an Arm Thrust, which would cause super effective damage, while the Mightyena would use a Crunch, doing decent damage but not enough to do much. And then Ash's Makuhita would finish off the Mightyena with a Brick Break, knocking it out. Both trainers would congratulate each other on the win and say that they both did well. And they'll see each other later, both being rivals. Ash would then return his Makuhita and go heal his Pokemon. And then the remaining trainers, which the three trio thought are just fodder, so we'll just skip to the main trio. It will be Ash versus Brawly. Brawly would say, Ash, I'm gonna beat you in this rematch. And then Ash would say, I'm not so sure about that. Oh, and then both trainers would be like, go Makuhita! Both Pokemon would stare each other down. And then Ash would get the first move and would say, use Brick Break, which would hit, and then Brawly would get his go and would say, use your own Brick Break. Yeah, and then after that, yeah, both Ash and Brawly will request for an arm thrust, hitting equal times, doing equal damage. Both Pokemon, pushed to their limits, would begin to glow, and they would evolve into Hariyama. Ash would say, magnificent! You've evolved, Makuhita, and he put out his Pokedex and it would say, Hariyama, a fighting type Pokemon. And then Ash would say, it is the evolved form of Makuhita. And then Ash would say, alright, let's go. Use your most powerful arm thrust. And Rowan would say, counter with your most powerful arm thrust. The two attacks would collide. But in the end, the more powerful and strength-oriented Ash's Hariyama, since it had been battling a bit more since the gym battle, had slightly surpassed Brawly's, causing it to take the match. Then Ash would say, alright Makuhita, let's stay in, buddy. And Brawly would say, but then Brawly would say, go Machop. Machop would attack Makuhita, but it wouldn't do much, and Makuhita would handily finish it off with a Brick Break. After using the Brick Break, Hariyama would be tired from all the battling, and then Brawly would say, go Meditite. And now use Psychic. This would be super effective, knocking out Hariyama. I should be like, alright, go Linoon. It would be Linoon versus Meditite. Both Pokemon would tear each other down. Ash would get the first go, scoring a powerful slash, which would hurt Meditite bad. And then Meditite would get its go, trying to charge up a focus punch. And then Ash would be like, you can't let that move hit. Use a takedown. A takedown would do some damage to Linoon, but in the end, it would be Meditite that was knocked out. And then both trainers would come in the middle and meet. And Brawly would say, next time, Ash, I'll win our battle. And Ash would say, good luck with that. They both go and heal their Pokemon. And then the final match would be Ash versus Flannery. Ash would be like, alright, go Linoon. And Flannery would be like, alright, go Numble. Both Pokemon would stand there, looking intently at each other. And Ash would be like, alright, use Slash. Doing loads of damage. Then Flannery would command for a flamethrower, doing decent damage. Then Ash would be like, alright, use takedown, putting Numble a sliver, and then Thunder would be like, use overheat. This powerful fire type attack would hit and will put Lightning in very low health, but Lightning would just scrape by with a slash, knocking out normal. I should say, well done, Lightning. You did well. Now, let's continue battling. If you're okay with that, and Lightning would nod. Then Thunder would be like, go out, combustion! It would be Ash's Lightning versus Thundery's combustion. Then Ash would be like, alright, you slash! Which would be a critical hit, doing a lot of damage. And then Thunder would be like, alright, use flamethrower. Yeah, this attack would hit. And Lightning would be standing by Silver, and then Ash would say, use your last and most powerful slash. And then Thunder would say, use double kick. Both attacks would collide, knocking each other out thanks to the crit from Slash. And then Ash would be like, alright, go Aaron. And then it would be Magcargo versus Aaron. And then both Pokemon were evenly matched, but only one could come out on top. I'd be like, alright, use Rock Slide, which would do super effective damage. And then Harry would be like, alright, use Overheat. The match would go on for hours and hours and hours until Flannery gained a slight advantage and used her secret move, Earthquake, finishing off Aaron. Then Ash would send in his Makuhita. Makuhita would have been weakened, would be a bit tired. It didn't heal properly from the fight that it had earlier. So then Ash would be like, alright Makuhita, use Brick Break. And then, Fairy would command an overheat. Both attacks would collide, knocking both Pokemon out. The referees, without able to decide the winner of the match, even though they would study all the fields, though both trainers would be evenly matched, they would say, alright, none of them wins. And now, alright, both trainers win. This has been a draw. And now, we'll see who gets the full heal. Ash would say that he doesn't need it, feeling cocky and saying that he makes sure that his Pokemon never get status inflicted. And Fairy would say, alright, I'll take it. And Fairy would take the full heal, even though she didn't actually win the tournament, and she didn't count it as a win. Neither did Ash. She just took it because Ash didn't think he needed it. They would then go fully heal their Pokemon and make their way to the next route on their way to Morville Town. During searching in the water, Ash would find a tentacle. Ash would be like, alright, go Aaron. Ash's Aaron would use a Rock Slide, doing a lot of damage, and then Ash would catch his tentacle in a Pokeball, and then would go quickly heal his Pokemon to go for full health. And then he turned to see Brandon there. Brandon would say, ha ha ha, if it isn't Mr. Ketchum, what are you doing around here? Ash would say, "Oh, I'm on my way to get my third badge." And then Brandon would say, "Oh wow, you're so much behind me. I've already got my third badge. I just got it right now. It was a wash for me." Anyway, Ash, how many Pokemon do you have? And then Ash would say, "Oh, I have 4." And then Brandon would say, "I'm gonna wash you today as well. Because I also have 4." Ash would say, "Today, I'm gonna put you in your place, Brandon. Today I'll show you that you're no better than anyone else." And then Brandon would say, "Oh really? I'd like to see you try, loser Ketchum." Ash, ignoring this, would send out his newly caught tentacle. Meanwhile, Brandon would send out his newly caught Mighty Anna. Ash will get the first go, scoring a water pulse, which would confuse Mighty Anna, causing it to hit itself constantly in confusion. Ash would then command for a water gun, which would do decent damage. Ash would then command for an acid, knocking the hyena Pokemon out. Ash would say, "Good job, Tentacle. You're really strong." And then Brandon would send out his Magnetric. Would then be a battle between a water type and an electric type. And if you all know Pokemon types, you know Brandon has a huge type advantage. I should say, "Alright, use Water Pulse. This would hit, but wouldn't cause confusion." And then Brandon would be like, "Alright, finish it off with a Thunder attack. This attack would hit, finishing off Tentacle in one hit." I should then say, "Alright, Tentacle, you did your best. Now go out, Makuhita." I should then say, "Alright, Makuhita, use Arm Thrust." The attack would hit and connect with Magnetric, doing a lot of damage. But then, Brandon will command for another Thunder, which would hit, doing a lot of damage to Hariyama. But then I should be like, "Alright, finish it off with a Brick Break," knocking out Magnetric. As I would say, "I'm shocked. So I'm shocked that you managed to knock out 2 of my Pokemon, but I'm pretty sure these 2 have what it takes to defeat your remaining 3 Pokemon. Alright, go out, Swallow." Archers would comment and say, "So your Taylor evolved. Wow." And then Brandon would say, "What do you expect from a trainer as strong and as competent as I am? My Pokemon are bound to evolve and ascend beyond." I should say, "Alright, now Hariyama, use Arm Thrust," but the speedy Swallow would avoid all attacks. And then Brad would say, "Alright, use Aerial Ace," finishing off Hariyama. And then Ash would say, I'm sure this Pokemon will be a surprise to you." Brad will say, "Humor me, Mr. Ketchum." And then Ash would send out his Linoon. And then Brad would be like, "I'm shocked that you actually managed to evolve that Linoon, but let's see if it will actually listen to you this time, you loser." And then Ash would say, "Don't worry about that. Alright, Linoon, use Slash." The Slash will connect with the Swallow, doing a lot of damage. And then Brandon would be like, alright, Swallow, use Aerial Ace. And then Ash would say, stand and endure it. And then the tough Linoon would stand and endure it, fully respecting its trainer's wishes. Brandon would say, so it's actually listening to you. Let's see how long that will last. And then Ash would say, alright, use Takedown. This would hit Swallow, doing a lot of damage and doing some recoil to Linoon. And then Brendan would say, alright, use Wing Attack, hitting, not doing a lot of damage to Linoon. And then Ash would say, finish it off with a slash, which would KO the Swallow. And then Brendan would say, I'm shocked that you actually managed to tame that Linoon of yours. But anyway, now the real battle has begun. You have already lost. They'll go out, Grovile! And Grovile would stand there like, Grovile! I should say, so you evolved your Trico. And then Ash to get more information would pull out his Pokemon. It would say, Pokedex, and it would say, Grovile. The Wood Gecko Pokemon. The evolution of Trico. This one's moves are Bullet Seed, Leaf Blade, Quick Attack, and Aerial Ace. And I should say, alright, I'm in for a real movie tonight. Let's go, Linoon. Use Slash. But then Brendan would say, dodge it and finish it off with your Leaf Blade. The Leaf Blade would be a critical hit, finishing off Linoon. Ash would say, wow, you've really improved, buddy. You've done well, Linoon. Larry Tag. Alright, it's all up to you. Go, Aaron! And then Brendan would say, ha 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 ha, you stand no chance. Your Aaron is still an Aaron. Meanwhile, my Trico has evolved. You stand no chance against us. Consider yourself lost. Ash would be like, alright, use Metal Claw, which will connect. And then Brendan would be like, use Bullet Seed, which would do decent damage. And then Ash would say, alright, use Rock Slide, which would only some rocks would hit Grovile since it avoided most of them. And then Grovile would hit with a Leaf Blade, doing a lot of damage. I mean, yes, pushing Aaron to its limits, causing it to glow. It would evolve, it would grow in size. Its arms and legs would grow until it evolved into Leron. I should say, amazing! You've evolved! And then Ash would pull out his Pokedex and it would say, Leron, a rock and steel type Pokemon. It is the evolution of Aaron. This one's moves are Iron Tail, Metal Claw, Rock Slide, and Rock Throw. I should then see his Laron practicing an Iron Tail, I would say. So that's the Iron Tail move. Alright, let's go. Laron, use your new Iron Tail, which was hit doing a lot of damage to Grovile. And then Brett would be like, alright, use Bullet Seed to do a lot of damage. And then both Pokemon would stand there. And then both trainers would say, Metal Claw and Leaf Blade. The two moves would collide, knocking both Pokemon out. And then Brenda would say, wow, I can't believe that I drew with someone like you. Anyway, next time you won't be so lucky. Anyway, smell you later. And Brendan would leave, going back to Morville City to heal his Pokemon. And then, this is the end of the video. Alright, see you later on the next part. Yeah, goodbye.